and transformation where insight meets action and people learn to move forward with purpose. And of course, every episode we have forward to that big purpose in life. And Miss Jackie and I will give you that motivation, isn't it, Miss Jackie?
Yes, absolutely.
Motivation, motivation. I just want to plug in Motivation 101 wherever you listen your podcast. Our latest episode, we talk about what happened if your motivation is gone.
That's
Because
good.
motivation is just like love, it will disappear in your brain. It's a
Mm,
chemicals.
it's a chemical thing. Yeah, right.
It's a chemical. I think is it associated with our topic for today? Measuring progress without killing motivation.
Yes, yeah. This is episode 10 we're doing together. Wow.
Then
Double
yes,
digits.
we did it. We did it. We did it. People, you can listen our coaching 101 wherever you listen your podcast. And we have a cheering squad waiting for us, Miss Jackie, because this is our 10th episode already. Imagine, it's so fast. We just decided before, okay, let's do coaching 101. Now we're having like 20 episodes already with Miss Karen. And thank you so much
Wow.
for being part of it, Miss Jackie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So,
My pleasure.
measuring progress without killing motivation. How can individuals track their progress toward the goal without becoming overly obsessed with numbers or metrics? How many
Right.
downloads? Like how many downloads I got for today?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really important to have that motivation, right? And a way to track that progress and measure it that
Mm,
energizes the client, right? Without putting pressure on them. Because the moment we put too much pressure on somebody, like you said, it's you're not going to be motivated anymore, and then you're just going to stop trying. So, I think
yes.
there has to be a balance with the progress and the metrics and things like that. But I think not focusing so much on metrics that you're forgetting about the progress. So it's definitely a balance between the two
Yes.
as well.
You know what, Miss Jackie, when I first year of doing podcasting, I always obsessed with how many downloads I got.
Mm-hmm.
And let's
Yeah.
say I do this episode that's so good and I'm expecting like lots of downloads and suddenly at the end it's like you got only like 10 downloads. What? Um I did my best. But my best is not good enough to
Mm,
be like, oh, I want 100 downloads for this. But well, suddenly it will, well, ruin your day if you just go to the metrics. Be yourself, and while motivation will gone, not just like what it will still in your brain, but if you have discipline, for sure motivation will replace that progress, right?
right. That's
So
true.
Miss, yeah, so Miss Jackie, how why do we rigid performance measurement sometimes reduce creativity, confidence, or intrinsic motivation?
Oh, that's good. And I like that you mentioned intrinsic motivation because
Yes.
unlike extrinsic, extrinsic is those things that are tangible, more tangible. Intrinsic is what we value that's going to last more long term. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, teachers, they tend to give rewards like gold stars and certificates and things like that. Now, they're good and everything, but that's more extrinsic motivation. So, and and something that is more valuable is not going to always have that tangible or monetary aspect to it. But some people are more motivated by extrinsic than intrinsic. So you just have to know the individual and what they are motivated towards, right? So yeah, so it's important to know that and to celebrate the progress along the way. I think that's the key right there is and
Yes.
knowing how to do that. So yeah.
I do celebrate, Miss Jackie, every small wins because it
Yes.
validates you because you work
Abs-
so
yeah.
hard. Just
Right.
like what? I'm doing interviews like, let's say 150 interviews every month. I'm doing like 22 podcasts every day just to
Mm,
validate myself why I'm doing this. Just go to your goals. That, oh, I'm building my legacy to the world, and let's celebrate that. I cannot see it now, but in the future for sure I will celebrate more, because legacy is something giving to your what, to your children, to your
mm,
grandchildren, for the
right.
future generation. It will guide them in to be better, because we have a different kinds of podcast title, which is like Coaching 101, Bible Verses 101, what is AI 101, which will be the future of our generations or generations to come, which is we are building more episodes that will nourish our next generation.
Right. So
So
true.
yeah, so
Hmm.
Miss Jackie, why do rigid performance measurement, or I think that is my last question. Comedy 101.
Yes.
I want to plug in my Comedy 101. People,
I love
please
that.
do. Please do listen. Comedy 101, wherever you listen your podcast. I'm learning to be a comedian, people, because I'm frustrated to be comedian, and my mentor, Mr. Bob Lemmet, is teaching me so hard. And I don't know if it's working. Though, is it working, Miss Jackie?
It's working. Yeah, it is.
It's working. Okay, so because you're my partner for sure, thank you for that. What strategies can coaches or leaders use to measure improvement while still encouraging experimentation and learning?
Oh, that's good. I think one way you can do it is make sure that your metrics are not just qualitative, but they also are quantitative as well. So not don't just look at the numbers, that would be the quantitative, but look at the other things as well, and look at the qualitative measurements as well. So whether it's whether it's doing informal surveys or interviews or something like that, just talking to the clients and finding out different aspects of what's working, what's not. And in a lot of ways, there's industries that do that, that they do a mixture of qualitative and quantitative metrics. So I think that's a great way to do it. So you're not just on one side of it, but you're more balanced with what you're looking at, and if you're seeing if things are working or not in that.
Definitely. You know what, Miss Jackie, my aim to Coaching 101 sooner or later, because we have a podcast Coaching 101. Why not we establish a business for us that we are coaching people like you? What do you want to be coached? For me as a podcast host, I want to coach people want to be have their own successful podcast.
Oh, yes, I love that. For me, it would be helping people to stay motivated and stay organized because, as we know, the percentage of podcasters that start a podcast, they quit after
Mm,
sometimes 10 episodes. It's really rare for people to get beyond that because they don't have a good system in place, right? So being able to
yes.
teach them all the different tools and techniques that they can utilize to maintain it and to keep it thriving, I think really helps as well because yeah, you can get burned out, right? Really easily, and then just put it on the shelf and then quit it. And then if you put it on the shelf too long, then it's easy to have it just fall by the wayside, as they say. So that's what I
Yes.
would want to do. Yeah. Hmm.
Definitely, that is our aim, Miss Jackie. After coaching 101 with Sublease, and we have like, well, established listeners, we will do establish our coaching 101 in real life, because we want to materialize it. So we will do our best to coach you. And I think we have a perfect combination, Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie will do the discipline thing, and I'll do the other side, the marketing, which is I
Hmm.
think I'm good. I'm good at that. In market your podcast itself. It's hard to do market, people. I tell you,
It is.
it
It is.
it
Yeah, I agree. I have an undergraduate degree in marketing, and then I have my master's in business. So I
you
can
need
relate to that. It is hard.
yes, you
Yeah.
need to do the tricks, consistency, and money, and what? Of course, talents. You need your have the talents in marketing, because if
Right.
you don't have, well, even how good you are, even how magnificent you are, how good your podcast is, well, it will not be heard by people. You need to market it.
Right.
So, Miss Jackie, how can small milestones and incremental achievement to help sustain motivation over long-term projects?
Mm. I think what someone can do is come up with a method that you know is going to work, not just for the short term, but for the long term as well. So find a way and a method to help motivate the client and to keep them moving forward, right? So they don't
Mm,
continually stumble or get stuck. Because if they're continually stumbling, and then it's almost like a kid that falls off their bike. And if they cry and they don't get up and try again, they're not going to move forward. They're not going to achieve that. And if they keep falling, right, the, then
yes.
they're going to be like, I quit. I'm not going to learn how to ride this bike anymore. But if you have someone, that can motivate you and say, come on, just try again. But I think it's important to try to come up with a system to where they won't keep stumbling, but they'll actually continue to make progress. I mean, things happen, mistakes happen, and they get setbacks for some reason. Life happens, right? But I think
Mhm.
if you can have a good system in place, I think that really helps to keep them
Mm,
motivated and moving forward.
yes. Moving forward, and people, most of the people didn't successful in everything because they quit so
Hmm.
often. It so happened that supposed to be they are in the, well, near of success, but they quit in the, let's say, in the quarter, or in the middle, or most almost in the success area. So that's, I think that is the character of people, quitter. But we need
Mm,
to, as a coach, we need to motivate them. It's hard to motivate people if they don't like to motivate it. And plus, motivation is always, well, will disappear in a moment, right?
right.
And because of that disappearing, you need to instill discipline. Because if the motivation is gone, but if you have a discipline, I need to do this because I have a goal, I need to do this because I want to be better, I need to do this because this is what I want in life, that's discipline. But the motivation is gone. So as a coach, you need to inculcate to their mind by doing that. But it's hard to do that, right? Miss Jackie, it's hard.
Yes. Hmm. Absolutely.
So, in what ways can reflective practices as journaling, self assessment serve healthier alternatives and constant performance comparison?
Mm. I like what you talked about with the self-reflection and the journaling. I think
Hmm.
that's a good thing to do, because then you're able to reflect back on earlier points in time, right? And you can see the progress you've made over time. So I think if a coach can encourage that with the journaling and self-reflection, that I think that helps to keep the client motivated as well, because they're able to see the progress that they've made. Because sometimes, it can be hard to remember all that. So if you're able to take that down and have a way to make it so that you can write down your thoughts and what's going on, and then you can always take that to your coach as well, and talk through that. So I think it has a lot of benefits for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of benefits for sure. Journaling, self assessment, or regular personal reflection can serve as healthier alternatives to constant performance comparison, because they shift the focus from external competition for internal growth. Instead of measuring success primarily against other people, reflective practices encourage individuals to evaluate their own progress, learning, and personal development. So, Miss Jackie, how can feedback be framed so that the highlight growth and effort rather than only focusing on results or shortcomings?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think one way to do that is to be able to look at the progress over time, and to look at, like you said earlier, one thing that really stuck out to me is look at the small wins, right? Not just the big
Yes.
milestones, but look at those small wins, and as you said, celebrate them. And I like that. So I think that's one way you can do that, is be able to have those checkpoints, right, where you can, over certain periods of time, you can say, okay, after this amount of time, or when you reach this milestone, then we'll celebrate that in some way. And I think that that can help.
Mm, definitely. So the question is, how do you celebrate your small wins? You know what, Miss Zaki, I do celebrate my small wins by, okay, if I get this, I will watch my favorite movie,
Mm, yeah, I like
the
that.
latest movie,
It's a good
or
idea.
the
Yeah.
latest series. Yeah, that's how I celebrate my small wins because I'm so busy. Oh my goodness. Receiving lots what 100 emails from Padmas is something what you will answer them every day, which is from doing that, it will consume you if you don't know what your priorities is.
Hmm.
How would you bite an elephant? Or how would you eat an elephant in a room, as they said?
Right.
Small, small
Small
bite.
bites. Yep,
Yes. It
exactly.
it will overwhelm you if you think, oh my goodness, what should I do first? Do email, or I will do what? Emailing, or what? I'll do editing, or I'll do what? Do my questionnaires or whatever. What will gonna do first? What is the priority first? What you gonna do? Step by step.
Right.
Small, yes,
Exactly.
small steps.
Right. And have a pattern where you develop
Mm,
a certain, it's because what I found, I don't know if this is true with you with podcasting, but for me, if I go out of order of, because I have a whole system in place, and it's not because
sure.
I'm trying to be rigid for myself
Yes.
or anybody else, but if I go out of order in those steps, then I miss something. But that's one of the reasons why I keep my Trello boards, because then I can look and see, oh, did I actually do this? Because you and I are both busy. I have a full-time job, and I teach
Yes.
part-time, and I do
Mm,
this, and you know also I'm consulting too for someone on a big project. So I have all my projects have their own board, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't know what I completed when, and I'd be going back and either repeating something, or and not realizing it, or forget something. So yeah, I agree.
patterns.
It's,
Yes.
yeah, it's good to do that.
Patterns, people. Even the
Yeah.
universe have patterns. Even the solar system have patterns. How
Hmm.
would you not to have a patterns? So that you will be successful. I myself have a patterns. Just like the sun and the moon and the earth, they have a patterns rotation each other. So
Right.
magnificent. In every podcast that I'm doing, I have a pattern. In every beginning, I have this caption. After that, after caption, there's something that I need to introduce myself. And then, well, for my co-hosting, just Miss Jackie, we do alternate sometimes. So there's a patterns, people. In everything, you need a patterns to succeed. That's one of the ingredients. If you observe successful people in the world, they have patterns, which is consistency, they have dedication, hard work, and of course, faith in God. But I don't know if those atheists but become successful,
Hmm.
but well, God is still there for them, even they are atheists. Don't you think, Miss Jackie?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
Mm.
would agree. Yeah.
God is good. God is good every time. So, what role does celebrating small wins play in maintaining? Oh, speaking of small wins, maintaining enthusiasm and psychological momentum, Miss Jackie.
Mm. I think those small wins are really important, because it keeps you motivated, it keeps you moving forward. And also, I think what's important is that you're not comparing yourself to someone else. If you're looking at just the big things, right, then you can start to fall into that comparison trap, I think. So if you can set aside those little milestones and say, at this point, this is when we're going to do that, I think it helps you to stay focused on what your work is, because we each have our own work that we do. And I know it's easy. I've done that before too, where I know someone that has a podcast that has way more downloads than I do. And in the beginning, I kind of got discouraged, and I was like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that many. But at the same time, I thought to myself, just like in that one Bible verse where we're running our own race, that's what I think of. I think, you know what, this is a project I'm working on. This is my own race. Her podcast is different than mine, and she's got different goals than I do. So if I try to compare my podcast to
Mm.
hers, yeah,
Yes.
I'm not really doing myself any good. And yeah, it demotivates you really fast. So that's yeah, I think that's the way that you can kind of do that, to celebrate those small wins. It's such a good thing because then you
Yes.
don't fall into those comparisons, yeah, that are so easy to do. Yeah.
Number one rule, people, don't compare yourself, because everybody, God created us unique. It's something that we have different DNA, we have different goals in life. And most especially if you're scrolling in social media, those are curated things. They are not just giving the full scene what's happening over there. So don't compare yourself, because the more you compare yourself, you feel silly, you feel disconnected to your own goal, which is, well, it will give you more upset. You're upset on everything, and then you're lazy to do your podcast because I no more energy, no more motivation. Plus, you don't have discipline. Now you're back to zero. So, people, please don't compare yourself. Just try, do your best every day. Do consistency, hard work, grinding. Well, as they said, grinding and grinding, but nothing. But you need to have faith in God too, that you He will guide you in everything you do, which is Miss Jackie and I doing it. Have faith in God.
Yes.
So to wrap up our discussion for today, Miss Jackie, and plus one more, don't afraid to commit mistake. Mistake make you perfect,
Mm-hmm.
people.
Right.
It
I agree.
serve you. The better you have mistake, the better you will become better. Just like, let's say, the famous scientist Thomas Alva Edison. How many times have failed in everything? Then he perfected what? Many times. Not only once,
Mm,
thrice, but hundreds.
right.
But
Yes.
ordinary people nowadays, if they failed one, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm not good. Oh my goodness, I'm not worthy for this
Mm-hmm.
profession.
Right.
Right?
They give up too soon, when they
Yeah.
could be so close, yeah, don't give up too soon, right? Don't, if you don't succeed, as they say, that saying goes, if you don't succeed, try and try again. Because if you keep trying, like you said, you're going to refine your practice and your skill.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you give up, you give up too soon, and you could be so close to getting towards those goals that you set for yourself. So yeah, don't throw in the
Yes.
towel too soon, as they say.
Don't
Yeah,
give up. Don't give up, people. Call us if
right,
you don't give up. We give you motivation. We give
right.
you verse in the Bible. We give you what? Inspiration that we are there before. The first time I do my podcast, it's like I do 100 takes before I do publish. It's like my food one. I'm Daniel Lucas. I was like, oh my goodness, I feel nervous that I don't want to speak my name.
Did you know? Have you noticed like your earlier episodes? Yeah, compared to
Oh
now, right?
my
Oh my
goodness,
goodness.
comparing. That's
Yeah,
why. That's
I've
why I
listened to
never.
mine too. Yeah,
Oh, you listen it.
I do. I've listened to my earlier ones, and I thought,
Oh my goodness.
wow, my goodness, how I've improved over the years, right? So
Yes,
even
I
my
do.
intro is not the same. It's
Mm-hmm.
I like to have consistency, but yeah, my intro is different, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I even my closing is different from what it used to be. So it's definitely different. How I interview guests
Yeah.
is
Uh-huh.
different. Yeah,
It
so yep, very
totally
interesting.
improve.
Mm-hmm.
Totally improve. And what
Yep.
I do, Miss Jackie, every year I do change something about my podcast, but it's the same. There's a pattern. You can change it, but the way you do, there's a pattern on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make
Right.
it like settle for you, to make for you it's like more convenient because this is my pattern, this is my trademark, which
Right.
is every time people will listen to you, oh, this is trademark. People will remember you if you're doing a trademark in everything you do. So, Miss Jackie, to wrap up our discussion for today, how can individual balance accountability with self comparison? When did I do again Comedy 101? Comedy 101, wherever you listen your podcast. I think we talk about, on Comedy 101, we talk about yesterday about slapstick, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Please,
how
please
funny.
do listen.
Like
Yes,
Larry Moe and Curly, they were
yes.
slapstick comedians, right?
Slapstick comedian. Oh my goodness. So the last question is, why might comparing one's progress to others undermine motivation, and how people focus instead of personal growth?
Right. Yeah. Kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, when we compare ourselves to others, like we were talking about, we're all unique. None of us, no two people are the same. It's like a fingerprint. No,
Mm,
nobody has the
we have
same
our
fingerprint.
DNA.
Right. We have our own DNA, and so we're unique in that way. So yeah, I think it takes away from the talents and skills that we offer and we're able to give in if we're coaching or mentoring someone. So I think yeah, I think it's important. And also to I think one thing too that's important is not only for the client to do that as well, not to compare themselves, but I think it's important for the coach as well, because the coach, in a way, they're not just a coach, not just coaching the individual, the client, but they're also mentoring them as well. And I think if they can show that they're able to do that and model that behavior, I think it sticks better with their clients. So yeah, so a little note for the coaches too, right? Try not to compare yourself to other coaches out there as well.
Yes. Stick to your goals. Don't compare yourself. Consistency, do your best, hard work, and faith in God. You will be successful sooner or later. So, Miss Jackie, would you like to plug in something?
Sure. So, as you know, we have 6 podcasts, right? Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing. So, we have Bible Verses 101, which we just recorded. We have Coaching 101, we're doing right now. We have Current Events 101. And then Fridays, we normally do AI 101, Tech 101, and what's the third? Oh, Mystery Stories 101. No, I forgot that one.
Mysteries.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Mysteries 101.
Yes, that's a
Likewise, I
fun one.
always forget the other one. Mysteries
I don't know
101.
why. I forget Current Events 101 for some reason. I think it's because they're new. We're trying to
Yes.
ingrain them in our brain, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to have the pattern too, so that it will easily for you to remember.
Right. Good
Pattern
idea.
makes you remember everything. If you have a pattern, it's easy for you, it's easy to do, and well, it give you more easier convenience to your daily lives. As just like
Yes.
the sun revolves around the planet, or the planets revolve the sun.
Right.
It's
Right.
continuous. It's a pattern. The same with
Mm-hmm.
us. There's a
Yes.
pattern. Okay, Miss Jackie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for joining us and keep learning.
Maricam people, see you soon.